Oh, sorry. I guess I'm not supposed to eat this year, and I'm pretty sure you know why, but I'll still tell you. According to the USDIA, food companies have begun using chemical substances in their products to reduce expenses and increase profit. Traces of substances such as sodium peroxide, dibrolinum, or rhodorium have had negative effects on their consumers. Due to these chemicals, there's been a sudden increase in diseases such as gastric and liver cancer. Did you know people dying from cancer are now 3 times more than people dying from heart disease? We should watch out for what we eat, and also for what we say. All this information is made up, completely false, and I'm pretty sure half of you believed what I just said. You see, words when said and articulated in the right way can easily change someone's mind. I have a friend named Kevin. Now Kevin is addicted to chewing gum. He chews gum whenever he wants, wherever he wants. So one day we're sitting in class, he reaches into his bag, grabs out his favorite strawberry chewing gum, opens it up and shoves it into his mouth. And that's when it begins. Nom, 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 nom. He constantly chews, obnoxiously. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the fact that he sits right next to the teacher. But he doesn't care, he just goes at it. Nom, 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 nom. Our teacher, she notices, and she stares at him, and she keeps staring at him. She gets up, she walks over to him, looks him straight in the eyes, and says, "Kevin, what is wrong with you? You know you shouldn't be chewing gum in my class, but you still do it. Loudly. In fact, you are going to stay back today." His first intent was to do it again. Nobody likes to be threatened. Nobody likes to be intimidated, which is why his pride wanted vengeance. A couple days go by, and this time we're sitting in English class. Once again, he reaches into his bag, grabs out his favorite gum, opens it up, and shoves it into his mouth. Nom, 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 nom. And it happens all over again. And yes, he still sits right next to the teacher. But this time, our teacher waits, and she waits. She slowly gets up, walks over to him, and she looks at him straight in the eyes. And she says, "Kevin, you are one of my brightest students, and when you chew gum in my class, it takes away from your good image." Whew. I could sense the guilt in Kevin. He wanted to have that good image. His pride wanted to be that brightest student, which is why he never chewed gum in class ever again. Let me give you an example of how words affect us and our behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Do you really need to buy those clothes when they're on sale? 50% off, buy one, get one free. And simple phrases like that are pretty much magnets. They instantly attract us towards them. During the holidays, I went to a popular mall. We went in, and the parking was packed. Everybody's eyes were looking at the exits to see if anyone was leaving so they could get their parking. We drove around for nearly 1 whole hour and finally found a parking. We went in and we realized that every single store was full of people. We went in and I was constantly being pushed around by huge men who I'm guessing were looking for gym shorts. The shorts had rips and selected sizes, yet people still waited in line for 2 hours to buy the product. There were women screaming their lungs out at shopkeepers to reduce the already deducted prices. In fact, there was one woman who just dragged all the makeup into her shopping cart. There was a mountain of lipsticks just balancing in front of her. She went on to the cashier, waited for around an hour and a half, and when she reached the cashier, she heard the words that nobody can hear. "Miss, I'm sorry, but you're only allowed 3 of the same product." not 55. That's when she lost it. She screamed and she screamed and she screamed until security had to drag her out of the store. A couple of weeks later, we went to the same store, but this time the parking was empty. We went in and the shops had just a few customers. The big red flashy sale signs were gone. We went to the same store and saw a variety of clothes. There were new colors, sizes, and even new designs. I took what I wanted and it only took 2 minutes. But I didn't save the amount of money that I did in the sale. But I enjoyed my time, I had fun, and most importantly, I was relaxed. Words can affect us, not just alone, but as a society, a country, or even the whole world. There have been wars that have been broken down because of the wrong use of words. On the other hand, there have been wars that have been resolved through the right use of words. Let's go back to 1960. Everyone around you is cussing at you because of your skin color. You can't wear the same clothes as your friend because of your skin color. Your children can't go to the same school as your neighbor. Why? Because of your skin color. But wait, there's a man with a black and white suit, a thick black mustache, and he's surrounded by huge muscular men. The man holds the strongest weapon known to humanity. Yes, that man is Martin Luther King, and his weapon was his tongue. He changed the way a whole society was treated just by the use of his tongue. I have a dream that my children will one day live in a nation where they're not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Imagine, a 30-word sentence changed the way a whole society was treated for generations. Well, you don't have to, because it happened in front of our eyes. Words can affect our behavior, our beliefs, and they can change our minds. Unfortunately, words have consequences, and we cannot press Control Delete on them. In South Korea, the #1 cause of death among teenagers is suicide. There is immense pressure on them to do well academically. If you don't do well in your exams, you're considered as an outcast or a disgrace. You walk into the exam room and all you can think about is your mother saying, "You're a failure if you don't do well in this exam." You sit down, you look at your exam paper, and the only thing going through your head is your father saying, "You cannot ruin our family name. If you don't do well, you're not going to college." And that's when it hits. The student realizes that if they fail, if it happens, then the pills in the cabinet don't look so scary, or the edge of a bridge doesn't seem so bad, and ending life itself is the only way left. If only their parents had said, "Your grade doesn't define who you are," or "You're not a failure if you don't score well," then maybe they would have still been here. Let me give you an example of how words have affected people in real life. This year in March, a student, during his final CBSE exam, died. Cause of death? Heart attack. There was immense pressure on him to do well in that test, and his body couldn't control it. Words have the power to affect us not only when said aloud, but also when typed, posted, or commented. In 2017, Mallory Grossman, a girl from New Jersey, 12 years old, took her own life. Her phone was flooded with messages saying, "You're a loser, you have no friends, you should just kill yourself." And she did. If only she had someone telling her that you have friends, you're not a loser, then maybe she still would have been here with us. Words have power. Words are power. Words could be your power. Our mouth can spit venom or mend the soul. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you today with one message. Think before you speak, because there's no control delete button in real life. Thank you.